I, 31 male, found out my fiance cheated during her 30 female bachelorette party, planning on leaving. Don't know how to explain all of this. Basically was snooping around last night when I saw her phone ticket off. It was a message from her friends about the party. I stayed up like one of those stalkers you've seen on TV and been checking the computer. FB messages with her friends and found she cheated during her bachelorette party. By cheating, I don't mean getting a striptease or something, which I would be okay with. I understand it's a bachelorette party, but she actually gave a stripper a blowjob and ended up going home with another guy that night. She has this other guy added on Facebook, but the chat merely consists of a "had a good time," and "it was nice to meet you convo," which dates back to the bachelorette party. I, however, read the messages between her and her friends. They have a small group, found out what she had done there. It all seems as if it was a one-time thing that happened then, but I'm a mess. I haven't slept all night, and she is headed for work in an hour or so when she wakes up. It's almost 6 a.m. here. I don't know what to do. We are supposedly getting married in 3 weeks. I am thinking of simple packing all my bags after she is going to work and just leaving the flat. It's her family's flat anyway. We were planning on buying a house, having kids grow old. I feel I want to throw all of that out the window. I am sitting here smelling like alcohol, feeling drunk and depressed. I don't know why, but I'm more of an angry depressed than sad depressed. I haven't cried since I found out about all of this. Should I confront her? Should I just get out? Should I hear her side of the story? Honestly, I want to just go and stomp her face in right now, but I don't want to do something rational. Please help. Sorry for the typos. I'm typing from my iPad and I'm not in a good place in my head right now. Also, I am European, not English. Edit 1. I have been reading all comments, both good and bad. Didn't expect this amount of response, but I think I have my mind set on just leaving. I will probably do so while she's at work. I really don't know. I feel a lot calmer already. Really appreciate everyone's comments. Not going to drink anymore or do anything stupid. I will try to update the post to let you know what's happening. TLDR, just found out wife cheated during bachelorette party and don't know what to do. She going to wake up soon. Update 2. I, 31M, found out my fiance cheated during her 30F bachelorette party, planning on leaving. I am making this as I feel I owe it to all of you. The amount of PM and responses have been incredible. Many of the decisions I have taken has come from people who supported me on Reddit. Both the negative and positive comments have helped me, and I would like to thank all of you for taking the time to write me and support me. Yesterday, I was having my phone spammed by many family members from her side and friends. The only person I responded to was the sister with part of the conversation where she and the sister talks about it all. I didn't include anything in the response except an image of the conversation, and the sister went pretty much silent after that until later. During the day, I contacted the co-owner of my business and let him know the full story. He told me to take as much time as I need and even advised me to head off to a vacation. This guy is a childhood friend of mine. I don't trust anyone as much as him. My plans have changed a bit. I'm still staying at this hotel for another few days and then perhaps moving on to the friend I was supposed to go to. I called him up and let him know I want to head off somewhere, perhaps a trip to somewhere nice, another country or something. It's all still not yet 100% decided, but I know I will be leaving for somewhere. He said he would be up for joining me if it could be during the upcoming weeks, since he is still on holiday from his work. We will see how that turns out. Later in the day, I responded to my wife. The calls kept coming in less frequently since I sent that message to her sister. I had this gut feeling she was going to come with an excuse of some sort. I picked up the phone, and first thing I hear is a torn-up voice, if you can say that in English. I could hear she had been crying all day and was in a messed-up state. She kept begging me to come back, that there is an explanation to everything, and that she loves me. I have misunderstood the entire situation. I could hear the sister and someone else in the background. Don't know who the other person was, maybe her friend. Anyway, I told her to explain it to me right then and there. She said because I'd only seen a small part of the conversation, it's all been misunderstood, that I should come back home, that she loves me, and that I have taken a rational decision to leave without a real reason. During the entire conversation, I was just giving really short, empty answers in a cold way like, yay, okay, what? Explain it to me. After she told me it's all a misunderstanding, I told her to call me back in 10 minutes and to check Messenger. After I hung up, I sent her the entire conversation log with a ton of screenshots, not all of them, but most of the important ones. It didn't take 2 minutes for her to call back, crying hysterically, saying sorry for everything, saying she wants to die rather than to lose me. She said she was forced by her friends and sister to have fun one last time and that she needed to let all the energy out before stepping into a marriage for life. I was just quiet during most of it. The more I didn't talk and just said, okay, the more she was crying. She started telling me I can other women if I want to get back at her, or that she will tell everyone about what she did so I can take her back, that she will do anything it takes for me to come back, and that this was a mistake of her life and that she hates her sister and friends for this. I told her other woman was not something I needed because the moment I met her and started loving her, she was the only woman I needed. I didn't need to meet or sleep with someone to know the best thing of my life was waiting at home. The sister was telling her stuff in the background, but I couldn't hear. I don't know what the sister was telling her or if she was getting angry at her or something. She kept begging me, and I just told her, if she comes clean to her parents and family, I will think about it. After that, she started saying something, but I just hung up. For like half an hour, my phone goes silent without much response, and her father calls me up and apologizes for everything. He and his wife note what happened now, and he is so sorry for all of this. He told me he understands how I feel, and that he didn't raise his daughter to do this. He said he understands if I don't want to see her again, but that I always will be welcome to him, and that I am a good guy. His wife basically then steals the phone from him and tells me she did a mistake and she regrets it and it will never happen again, and that we can move forward from this. She tells me her daughter has never been this destroyed before. I politely tell her I appreciate her opinion and then say I have to go and goodbye. My ex-fiance calls me back and begs me again, saying she told her parents and also sent a text message to her friends, our mutual friends, about what had happened. She then keeps crying, asking me when I will come back to speak with her, and say we can even go to counseling and that she will pay for everything. She kept apologizing on the phone, and I didn't say much. After some time, I just told her not to cry, that she shouldn't be apologizing because single women, like herself, are allowed to do these things, and I hope she finds Mr. Right. She starts crying even harder, and her sister takes the phone and says sorry and tells me everything can be fixed, and I said I would take her back now that she told everyone what she did. I told the sister I only said I think about it, and now that I realized I dodged a bullet and wish her and her sister the best. She then tells me her sister is turning suicidal from all of this, and that this is going to lead into a depression that can take her life. The only thing I said after she told me that was, it's a good thing you are close to her so you can make sure she doesn't kill herself then. Maybe take her to a doctor or something. After this, I just hung up. My phone has been blowing up with messages from mutual friends, her and her sister saying sorry and basically begging me to come back. I don't plan on responding. I honestly feel a lot better right now, like I can move on. I will be going for vacation this upcoming week, I think. If something more happens, I will update this post. Maybe I will update in a month or couple of weeks, I don't know. Story 2. My mom cheated on my dad. Recently discovered my mom cheated on my dad with her now husband. My parents divorced when I was 4 years old. They had 2 kids, my older sister and me. My dad had said she had cheated in passing with her now husband when I was in high school, but being a teenager and not understanding much about infidelity, I didn't really pay attention to what he said. My dad died when I was 28 a couple years ago. He never found anyone after my mom. In fact, although he had his own business and loved my sister and I, he always seemed so lost. I used to think that's just how he was, until I learned about the affair this year. My mom used to badmouth my dad growing up, saying he was abusive. She also got with her now husband the same year my parents separated, but me being so young at the time, had no idea what was going on. Anyway, I guess I'm just so heartbroken for my dad. He wasn't lost like I always thought, or maybe him being lost was one of the impacts of my mom's infidelity. What he really was, though, was walking around with a broken heart. That just kills me. He even said when he died, I ruined my marriage, with tears going down his face. I should have figured it out sooner, but I didn't. It was my mom who did all the bad mouthing, not him. In fact, he would address her as your mother, but she would only call him by his first name and would address her now husband to my sister, and I as your dad. How messed up is that? I should have known. I wish I could hug my dad and tell him it wasn't his fault, that cheating is selfish, and if she was unhappy, she could have just left him without having to sleep with another guy. I've been cheated on before, and I know how excruciating it is. I will never understand why people do such a painful thing to someone they say they love. I will never look at or feel the same about my mother again. The same goes for her husband. He moved it on my mom and contributed to hurting my dad and now me too. I really want nothing to do with either of them. They don't know I figured it out, and I'll never tell them. They don't deserve to know why I'm going to distance myself from them moving forward. I'm writing this here because I can't tell anyone. To tell you all that cheating breaks your kids' hearts too. My dad was my best friend, and I miss him terribly every day. Now I know he was the strongest man I've ever met. He kept this pain from my sister and our whole lives and never tried to get back at them ever. Yet my mom and her husband have walked around with this dirty secret pretending they are soulmates. No, not soulmates to me, they are evil human beings. My dad may have never found anyone, but I loved him so much and he is forever my hero. Strongest heart I've ever seen and I didn't even know it at the time.